Isaiah Todd, poet, philosopher, and basketball player. Basketball is either gonna make or break you, man. And I think it really made me.
He just was comfortable in himself. Like, he didn't try to be like anybody else. He really wants to be like Isaiah Todd.
We're talking about a very unique young man. I mean, not just basketball, off the court, smart, very intelligent, very.
I just look at him and say, there's nothing he can't do.
It's a huge plus to have my mom right here with me every step of the way. Her being my best friend, the person that I trust and that I can come to.
This basketball world is a man's world, but because his dad is not here, I got to be the aggressive female.
Man, let's go. Good. 3. Come on, let's go. Come on, go into it. Good. Good. Mind, get up.
Over the years, I've always carried myself as a professional basketball player, but I do believe that, that night on the draft and the day after that, or when I have that first practice and I put on that jersey for the first time, that's when it'll really sink in that you're in the NBA. I mean, that's my mom's. I am her, kinda. You know what I mean? Like, everything she's been through and everything she's learned, she's poured it into me. And that's made me part of who I am.
Baltimore is home. This is where I grew up at. This is what groomed me to be who I am. I was skipped from the 7th grade to the 9th grade to play basketball, but I never played because I got in trouble. When I was about 12 years old, I was about 6 feet. So with me being tall, I always hung around an older crowd. I stopped going to school in the 9th grade and I started selling drugs. I grew up in the projects. It's called Lafayette Project. It no longer exists. They tore them down.
This used to be Lafayette Project. This is where it all started. This is my stomping ground since I was a little girl. But this is where the high-rise buildings was at. 130 building was my building. So I was known. That was my building where I had the dope and coke at. People come up on the steps, get hit, leave out.
Back then, I was the most popular female. It wasn't a lot of females selling drugs. You had a couple of them that was pretty big, but in Lafayette, I was the most popular one. So day to day, it was like morning to night. We go to the projects, we vow our stuff up in our stash house, and we go out there and we sell it. We make about $3,000 or something a day or something like that, or more.
I was real competitive. Don't come in front of my building, go somewhere else. Real competitive. You ain't selling right here. Especially if you ain't from Lafayette. Nah, you from way up the hill? No, you better go back up the hill. I had the gun on me, all that. All that.
Me helping people was what put a smile on my face. You always help people. Like if I saw a homeless person or homeless people, I feed them. Give them coats, give them jackets. Like I could be in a line, somebody might can't afford something and I'll help them pay for it. Stuff like that. So when I was arrested, they waived my rights to an adult. And they sent me to the women's prison, and they gave me 3 years.
I was 16 when I first came here. Yeah, 16. Man, this brings back a lot of memories. Bad, good. I might have been here for about a year before I went to court, something like that. And then after I received my time, then I went to Jessup. Yeah.
Everybody knew at some point. It became like the celebrity. I would go places, people like, that's that girl Marlene. Even to this day, honestly, like, the streets still respect me. They love me.
Hey. This is my friend Coy. I'm talking about over what, 20, 25 years?
Yeah.
We used to hang in the projects together. We used to do our thing together.
For that whole phase right there, we were just getting money. Running through the projects, Marlene doing everything the dude's doing. Everything the dude's doing, she's doing. During the times of the projects, it was like I'm gonna say between all the buildings and everything, it was like $1 million a month circulating through our project. And then there was a phase where as though we had to pay for everything that we did. So she went to prison. I went to prison. She could have said, well, look, I ain't, look, G, I'm gonna just do what I wanna do. And they could have had a gang banging mother. or a mother that could have went back to jail. So she made the decision. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and make sure Isaiah get to these practices.
Seeing those things growing up is what made me a good parent. Being in that environment and all that is what made me, who I am today. Because I was a good person, like always had a heart of gold. I never did wrong to people, but I was one of the ones, don't do wrong to me. That's how I was. Like, it's almost like a switch, like don't do wrong to me.
Being 18, being in Miami, and being able to, do things that normal 18-year-old kids can't do. It's really surreal, and I appreciate, the guys that take time to give me advice. Just being here in this wonderful city, like where a lot of movies were shot. The food's crazy. There's always some kind of music playing, no matter where you're at. I found out that I liked writing on the journey to trying to find myself. Quarantine has given me a lot of time to write. A lot of times your surroundings have a lot of effect on your emotions. And if you're not in the right state of mind going on the court, you're not going to play the same.
Good. Big finish and get water.
I'm just excited to be able to play basketball on the next level.
This is the woman that gave me life. Sometimes we take that for granted. I call her about everything. Everything.
This is my daughter. We help each other out at times, and it's beautiful.
We talk every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Of course, that's my mom, so her heart was kind of heavy because her daughter had 18 years in prison, and she told me that she used to walk around at work and with her heart heavy, and she just felt like she wanted to talk to somebody.
I was there, but I wanted her to receive God in her life. So I met this guy at work, and he was a preacher, and I sent him to see her. I'm a pastor. I love to help change people's lives if I can by preaching and teaching. So I went to the prison and I met her. She received the word. She was happy. She was blessed. So when she came home, she came out and she came to church, still same fire. She wasn't ashamed. I did what I did, but God changed my life, and I'm glad about it. So, and I loved it about her.
This is the Rock of Revelations. This is the church that God has blessed me with when I first met the Lord. Because when I was locked up, right, God told me He was going to perform a miracle in my life. He was going to do it powerfully, and He was going to do it publicly. How many times I told you that? Many times. When I first got out of jail, I told him that. And this was many years ago.
Yes.
This was before he was even born.
Yes.
This was before you was born. God told me that He was going to perform a miracle in my life. He was going to do it powerfully and publicly.
A lot of people in our church, about like 5 or 6 people, come to this church because of her. That's why I call her keynote. Because her testimony and her boldness caused them to come and want to be a part of this church because of Marlene. She know what she's doing. She haven't left her roots. That's good. I'm proud of her. It's things that we do when we're young that we don't realize is wrong. Then when we get more mature, then we realize there was something that was wrong. But she has grown to be a beautiful woman today. She's raising her kids, to be beautiful people too.
So when I got pregnant with Isaiah, I just knew it was going to be special. So I named him Isaiah. Isaiah is one of the prophets in the Bible.
I remember sitting in these seats. It's exactly the same. Everything here seems exactly the same. I remember playing on the drum set for the first time.
Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. See these young men, and they're on a positive road. They're not in the streets. Baltimore is serious. They're doing something positive, so sure. And I feel that I'm a part of that.
There's a couple Bible verses that stand out to us. One of them is, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Isaiah has that tattooed on his body. Then there's another one that encouraged me through the journey too, that all things work the good to those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. I had to say that a lot because it's like, come on, you want your son to make it. You know, who don't want their son to be an NBA player? And sometimes it just seemed like it wasn't gonna happen. I can't make it without the Lord. I can't. Like, that's my peace. To me, grassroots basketball is just like drugs. In the streets, you got like the best product, right? Dope, coke, Ready Rock, whatever it is you have, right? If you got the best product, everybody gonna come and buy from you. In the basketball world, it's almost like the kids is the best dope and coke or whatever, you know? And all the junky basketball junkies gonna come to you.
My earliest memories of basketball is probably when I first started playing, like, you know, and I was with Derrick.
The coach, Derrick, he met him at a snowball stand. He seen his footwork.
I said, how old is he? She said 6. I said, oh my goodness. And he was jumping up on the curve like that. So I saw footwork. I said he was coordinated at that age before he was touching and that sock.
He was like, man, when he turned 7 years old, bring him to me. So that's what I did. So I took him to him, and Isaiah didn't have a clue.
When I first started playing like 7 and under, I wasn't very good, but by the time we started getting to like 10 and under, parents were screaming out the crowd that they thought I was cheating.
Derrick and GERALD, that's the foundation. They laid the foundation.
So we saw the potential in him, and I mean, the rest is just gonna be, you know, it's gonna be history.
I always wanted to move from Baltimore because of the crime rate. It was just something in me like, okay, well, I done sold drugs here, I did this, I want something different for my children. So I asked Isaiah, I said, how you feel, you know, about us moving to Virginia?
I wasn't old enough to understand. All I knew was we was moving away from all I knew. My friends, basketball, my middle school. Initially, I didn't want to move. She said it was the best thing for us.
My first encounter with Isaiah, his team was short players. And so they were about to play, and I said, did you all need any other players, Isaiah? He looked at me literally and laughed and said, no, we're good.
My first experience with Isaiah Todd was as an 8th grader. Put him in the game. We got some action. We actually had Roy Williams, Mike Krzyzewski. It was a big-time game. He got in there, and that's when I knew he was going to be special, because most 8th graders in that situation, seeing those coaches on the baseline, they would have been a little nervous. He was comfortable as I don't know what.
I started playing JV here in 8th grade. This was the goal where I got my first dunk. It was kind of lonely, man. It was different. Like coming down south from Baltimore, that's all I ever knew. It was lonely until I started playing basketball. Coach White, Coach Black, like they installed some of the things in me that I'm gonna carry, you know, with me for the rest of my life.
You gotta remember, Isaiah as a 9th grader was labeled as the #1 player in the country. So that brought a lot of attention to him and a lot of attention to Richmond City and obviously to John Marshall High School. And you would think, once again, as a 9th grader, is that gonna be too much pressure? But he embraced all that.
To be on that wall right there with some of my brothers, this is gonna be forever something I remember. That team and that staff, man, like just sitting there looking at that picture. I remember the day that picture went up. It seemed like it was just yesterday.
Isaiah means a lot to this community, to this area, to this school. Isaiah broke a mold. He was different, and he is different. He's a better person than he is player, and I think the world of him as a player.
John Marshall High School, which is a really good school, you know, it's a city school. And I said, we're gonna go ahead and move to Raleigh and start over there.
I think one of the great things that we took away from the year I had him, Isaiah prided himself every single day in winning sprints every single day. He picked up things so fast. A lot of times he would stop practice himself to help the other guys continue to learn. And I think that's more of a testament to his work ethic than anything else. If you're pushing yourself against guys that might not be at your level, I think once he gets to the NBA level, he's not only going to bring veterans along with him, but I think he'll bring rookies along with him as well.
I guess you could say Rainier was kind of my first friend here at Trinity. Coming in, not really knowing anybody in North Carolina.
Part of the way I got close to Isaiah is the same way I get close to a lot of our students, and that's kind of the structure of my role. I'm here to mentor them and help them walk through the difficulties of life, teach them that life's hard and you got to know how to manage through difficulty. And my favorite part about Isaiah, and I think what really made us close, is he's a very deep thinker, and he's an incredible writer, and he has a lot to say, and he says it well.
Rainier was there to kind of help me and pointed the way. And he made me feel like I was more than just a basketball player. And, you know, that's very uncommon in my life.
You know, we're all given different gifts, and he's been given multiple incredible gifts that can do a lot for the world. And he's the type of young man that's been raised in such a way that he's going to do good things with those gifts. And I think that that's the beauty of Isaiah.
I said at Trinity, this is where I learned to become a leader. This is where I kind of realized that the game is 90% mental, 10% physical, and then going to Word of God, just applying that with a different group of guys.
My guy,
Isaiah?
my guy, man.
Nice to see you. How things been going?
It's been a long time.
I know. How you been?
Great.
Word of God feels like home, man. Like, I think that's the only way I can describe it. It's just like a home feeling, and I'm grateful. This is the place I graduated from, where I met some of my best friends. This is one of the most fun times in my life.
People know about Word of God Christian Academy, and so we're definitely excited about the legacy that Isaiah contributed to. And he also left something important here, so for others to follow and emulate as well. So we're definitely excited that he came through and spent some time with us before he went to the next level.
The home games here, it used to be like a big pep rally.
Isaiah got the team hyped. He even got me hyped.
Sports can make or break you, especially as a competitor. You're gonna have highs and you're gonna have some lows. And I think the quicker you learn not to, get so high on your accomplishments and not to get so low on your failures, the more successful you'll be and the more you'll be able to adapt in different situations.
My mom, she was a single mom. She didn't make a lot of money. Day to day, you would get fights, killings, all kind of stuff. That's tough to see somebody, actually get shot and die right in front of your face. Yeah, that's not easy.
My mom, she was with mom and dad coming up, because there are a lot of kids where I'm from that didn't have that guidance. They strayed away. I think it's either you go right or left. And my mom made sure that I went right.
What's up, man?
How you feel? You always been like this.
Yeah, he always been, but he was young. He was young.
Around here, man. I used to ride my bike down that hill over there. It still got the rocks.
Still got the rocks over there.
We lived up here in 27 when Isaiah was 2 years old.
Yeah.
And then we moved right here to 13, and we was living there for like 10 years or 12 years. This is Baltimore. This is what they do.
Isaiah is my little brother, even though he's bigger than me. He's my little big brother, I call him. We're really close, Growing up, that was my best friend for real. When we link up and I see him, automatically just think of our old neighborhood, Amelia Woods. I say, we came a long way from Amelia Woods Court, right? And he would look at me and smile and say, yeah, it's a blessing.
Got Baltimore in my heart because I really got love for the city, man. Like that's just my core. This is where I came from. This is what I'm made of. When it comes down to who you really are and where you really come from in that core and that, that center, it's gonna be Baltimore.
I still like when Isaiah used to come home from school because he always had something to tell me about school. But one particular time when he said, Mommy, I said, yes, son. He said, my teacher said that I'm not just tall in height. I'm tall in character too.
I always joke with my mom about, because she always jokes and says, you famous now, but I'm famous. I was famous in Baltimore. I'm famous still. We go there. Everybody know me. I was like, okay. She said, we come to Baltimore and you Marlene's son, and you ain't Isaiah.
What's up?
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm fine. This is a good friend of mine named
What's
Chris.
How's that?
Where it all started at, Somerset, Lafayette. He used to hang out with me. He used to hang out.
Absolutely.
Before I became serious about basketball, man, I was kind of glad to kind of know my mom's not to be messed with. That's something that's cool to me. I'm glad to know she can hold her own. I'm glad to know that it run in my blood too.
I've been knowing Marlene when she was like 14 years old. See, Marlene always been tall for her age, and she never looked her age. So at that particular time back then, everybody running wild. Marlene knew how to drive a car when she was 14 years old. You understand? Now that's unheard of. But because of her height and her size, that it was normal for her because she would hang around people that was older than her, and everybody took her to be older. You talking about a young kid that can make $1,500 a week and stuff like that at the age of 14. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm 54 years old right now, and I would take $1,500 a week right now.
I was probably 6 foot in like the 5th grade. And, I know what that feels like to be excluded, from your age group and hang with older guys and older kids. And, it just so happened that the crowd that I was limited to wasn't the crowd that, she had experienced when she was growing up. And a lot of that has to do with her and what she's already been through.
He's like an amazing big brother, and I look up to him, and I feel like he's showing me the way to go the right routes and stuff to take. She's a strong woman. I would do anything for her. She's handling all this by herself. She takes care of me.
The boys, I said, y'all will never live the life that I live. So I kept them a little sheltered, because I didn't want to. It's so easy to go down that path, especially here in Baltimore. It's easy, especially if you got like a lot of idle time, and that's all around you,
I was like one of those kids, like, I'm trying to go to play basketball at that, on one of those courts that you see. She's like, nah, you can't go outside, like, don't go out there. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go to the store. She's like, all right. I went to the court anyway. I went all the way to the court, played, I had to be home by the time the street lights come on. So I'm running back home, sprinting. It's easy 5-6 miles.
We have like this little pathway you can cut through, so you won't have to walk around a long way to the store. And he was walking through that pathway, and he said he was robbed.
And yeah, I got robbed, man. Back there, like, on my way into the neighborhood.
I had all kind of thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, who did this to my son? Because knowing my background, like, man, I'm gonna go out here and do something to this, that's my thoughts. But God had to like, look, you come too far, don't try to do nothing crazy or whatever. So I just said, we gotta move. Like, we really gotta get away from here.
Walnut Creek, California, in my mom's house, Thanksgiving. I'm excited to eat.
It feels really good to have my family here today. I don't get to see them much because they live in Baltimore and I'm here in Cali.
He tell you, there's this place in Baltimore called Blue Moon, right? They known for Captain Crunch French toast. So I liked it so much, I got the recipe and I fixed it at home. Believe me, when I got you beat down though, I do better than you. Just to let y'all know. You cannot use no Aunt Your Mama, no none of that. You gotta do maple syrup.
I was on my way over there and Jalen was getting his haircut. You said he went to wait.
Yeah, well, Jalen gotta do it. Is he really coming? That's the thing.
I still bring Jalen the East Coast culture, showing the movies that we watch that are classics to me. Food we eat, like Captain Crunch, French toast, and stuff like that. This is my inner circle. This is my peace, and these are the people that truly love me. Knowing where we come from, man, and just seeing this beautiful house and the beautiful people we brought with us here for Thanksgiving, it's a blessing.
I'm real family oriented. Family is number one. I actually learned a lot of things from Isaiah. His hunger and dedication is out of this world.
Man, it's awesome, man. It's a great family. Everybody's loving. My mom passed away, and I've always told Miss Marlene that she reminds me a lot of my mom. I'm ready to eat this good food they have.
Family is a really strong word. A lot of people can't have that name. She's a strong woman. I would do anything for her. She tries to help others without helping herself. She puts others before herself a lot.
Thank God for my family. Without my family, I'm nothing. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And I'm thankful for the things that God has been showing me about myself and about, you know, where I'm going. And He's been showing my mind for a long time. And I'm thankful for this food that we about to eat.
All right, let's go eat.
Being an athlete today, you know, it's changed definitely a lot, man. Like, especially off the court, you know, with being in the spotlight so early and so easily. The biggest thing, like I say, is just staying on track with what your goal is. Don't get so caught up in what people posting on Instagram or Twitter. Don't get caught up in trying to be famous or all the stuff that don't matter. But if you stay true to the grind, true to the game, nothing can stop you. And that's what I try to do. I love it here. It's like I have two families now because my team, you know, we're there for each other and we're on a journey ourselves. I have a huge vision for us. It's like a dream. Like us being the first kids to do this and being successful at doing it could be a trend that kids after us will follow forever. To leave the first footprints and the first handprints and the first people to step on the Ignite court, that's just, it doesn't get any better than that.
I met Isaiah as a junior, and when I watched him play, he reminded me a lot of Giannis, Greek freak. Come on, 2, come on, 3, come on. We're gonna go hard. Like, we're gonna push, we're gonna sweat, we're gonna give it everything we have. We're gonna try to reach the max. 5, 6, yeah. 7, one more. 8, good. 14, that's it. 15, come on, boy. 16, good. Come on, push.
I always try to like maximize myself and learn as much as I can being young and trying to reach my ceiling and be the best me that I can be so that I can fit in any team or fit in any environment, being prepared for anything that might come my way on the next level.
For me, when I get to work with a young man like Isaiah, it's like a privilege. Really want to dig and really tap into some things that I might not be able to get out of other athletes because he's a special athlete. 14, good. 15, 16, come on, keep going. A lot of people just starting to wake up, and they're just starting to get to see some of the stuff that he can do. Oh, damn. Easy hook. Yeah, easy hook.
He really busts his butt to be the best. I see a bright future for him, not just in basketball, but just as a person in general.
I tell my mom and my family this all the time, like I miss them so much, but it's just such a blessing to even be here. This bowl experience is gonna improve my mental strength, and I think it's gonna give me a real confidence boost going into the NBA. My goals throughout the G League experience was just to learn as much as I can in this time that I was here. Coach Shaw is a basketball mind. I mean, he's been around some of the greatest players like Larry Bird and Shaq and Kobe. And off the court, you know, he's kind of like a dad.
I think sky's the limits for Isaiah if he keep working hard.
I see a mixture of Kevin Durant, Giannis when I see him play.
You know, sometimes you lose that game and it's gonna hurt, or you might miss that shot, but it's all about getting up the next day and still going to work on that stuff and not giving up on it.
The things that I'm learning from him, that he's becoming his own man, and I don't have to worry so much no more. Like he pretty much got it.
Coming into this thing, man, we were kids, and we didn't know what to expect, and we didn't know if we were gonna have a season. We didn't know if, you know, this was gonna work out better for us in the end, like as far as leading up to the draft. But making it to the playoffs and being the only team ever in Team Ignite history, that says something. And I think we left our mark, and I think we did our jobs as young men, as rookies. Just being where those NBA players were last year when the Lakers won the championship, just standing where AD and LeBron celebrated, or walking through the same halls as, you know, Jimmy and all those guys, man, like, that's what I was thinking about the whole time. It's starting to feel like now is my time. Like, now there's no more hiding behind the curtains. Like, if you can hoop, it's gonna show. They always say that. And I believe I can hoop. And being on that stage, man, I'm gonna have to show it.
I mean, I think he's a perfect fit for the NBA of today. I mean, he can do everything. He can defense, switch out on screen, switch out on the guard, shoot the ball. He can run the floor like a deer. Just being that type of athlete at 6'10", everybody knows that's what people are looking for.
Going into the draft, man, I just want to be prepared for any situation. And I'm excited to prove people wrong.
Basketball changed not just Isaiah's life, but it changed his family life. It's changing our life, right? But it ain't been easy. I had to learn a lot of things along the way, so I probably pushed him a little too hard sometimes. So now that he's getting older, I realize, like, okay, he got it.
A good leader is smart. He has integrity. He's unselfish. He always has everybody's best interest. I learned so much this year. I made so many different relationships. And I've grown as a young man, going into my journey as a professional basketball player.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. You know, this draft night we've been waiting for. So wherever he go in the draft is gonna be a blessing. It's a blessing just to be in the NBA.
Miss Marlene is a strong Black woman that has always led her family.
She's a beast. You know what I mean? Because when you come to it, when it comes down to it, she's getting it done. Simple as that.
It's really a story of hard work, family staying together. That's one thing, that family is tight. They're really a tight family.
No matter where I go in the country, no matter how much older I get in life, like, family is where home is.
Growing up watching him go to high school, he'll wake up 5 o'clock in the morning before school workout. So he motivates me, and I'm very proud of him.
Having your big brother to work out with you, it pushes you. I feel like I could really be great if I really put my all to it.
He's a servant, he's a giver. Kids love him, just draw to him. He just has that good aura about him where everybody wants to be around him.
And it'll be great for Isaiah on draft night to hear his name called and just to see his hard work pay off, and for the family, just all the years of supporting him.
I think it gives hope, it gives inspiration. We come from Baltimore, he come from Baltimore, and you can make it, I don't care where you at.
I feel like the journey has been a blessing and a cursing. I made some mistakes, you know, learned from the mistakes. We're gonna go to a whole new level.
Seeing where I was and seeing where I am now, going into the NBA, following this story, following this path is just amazing.